December was really busy for me, which is both why this video's late and why you haven't seen too many other videos on this channel. Don't worry, now that things have calmed down a little bit for January, I do plan to make more content. Though I can't make any promises about February because that one's looking really busy as well. Who knows though, maybe it'll be busy on this channel instead of my main channel. I guess you'll just have to get subscribed to find out. But as a result, I didn't play that many games in December. In fact, I only played 3. Path of Exile, which I came back to for Affliction League. Torchlight Infinite, which I came back to for the Twinightmare season, and Afterimage, a game that I've been meaning to play for way too long. Path of Exile Affliction League is a league of excess, which can be a good thing and can be an exhausting thing. I tried the crazy farming abysses with tons of projectiles and extra monsters and loot everywhere, and I mean, it was somewhat fun, but it was also genuinely exhausting. It's crazy to buy a mage blood like it's nothing or farm it up out of nowhere, but it's also exhausting to have to spend that much to buy items that otherwise were relatively common. Or have items drop, which normally would be quite valuable, and find out they're worth nothing. There's a great sense of uncertainty here, and I don't just mean the transfigured gems. So personally, I hope that next league ends up being a little bit more like the consistency we expect from a regular Path of Exile league. Though with the transfigured gems, I do think the build meta is going to see a lot of shakeup. I started the league by playing Scourge Arrow of Menace, and then Caustic Arrow of Poison, a poison pathfinder that probably won't exist unless the tinctures go core. Then I took a short break to play Torchlight when the season dropped, and came back to mess around with Penance Brand of Dissipation. I mean, I've played Penance Brand since the skill came out, so obviously I had to give it a shot, and I am absolutely not disappointed. It's difficult to say if a build has infinite damage, but I can safely say that there are very few things with enough health to actually survive its damage, so functionally yes. It is infinite damage. Though solving the defenses has been an entire headache, which hopefully I'll be able to talk about soon, assuming that I actually manage to figure it out. I'm genuinely considering using Vivid Vultures right now to reroll an implicit on my helmet for minor gains, because that's the point where I'm at. And no, I don't have any sanity left, Zana would be very disappointed in me. But that's been my experiences with Path of Exile Affliction League so far. If you want to know more, then I have a wide variety of videos on my main channel, which I'll link down below, and you can check it out. After that, I jumped straight into Torchlight Infinite's Twinightmare season. This brought a whole bunch of new game changes, which actually felt really good, the new hero Rosa, and a revamped to Gemma Frostbitten Heart. Now, freezing enemies has always been a really good defense, but unfortunately there are very few ways to capitalize on this and turn it into offense. So Frostbitten Heart felt really good to play, but did no damage. Luckily, that's changed. Now she does a very significant amount of damage, and the screen-wide freezes, oh yes, they're as juicy as ever. So I put together a cast-on-crit lightning beam. Normally, cast-on-crit in Torchlight Infinite is actually really difficult to make work, because you lose a lot of damage due to the trigger rate, and yes, it has a huge multi, but most skills benefit from just going faster rather than for hitting really hard when they trigger. You could do something like cast on Crit Ignite, but at that point you might as well just go self-attack, and you could do a few other things here and there. But Lightning Beam synergized really well due to its unique mechanics. You had a target cap, a maximum DPS no matter how fast you triggered the skill. Sort of. Cast speed was still a damage boost, just not trigger rate, which is really interesting, especially when combined with Spell Burst, where you got to scale the cast speed super high and use the trigger rate to get even more damage. So I had a lot of fun putting that character together. And after doing that for a bit, I was smoothly farming 8-2 and getting tons and tons of loot. I would say it's the easiest ARPG to get loot explosions in, but right now there's also PoE Affliction League, so it's another league of excess. And that's kind of a problem, at least for me personally. Going from excessive loot league to excessive loot league has been a little exhausting. And so for the latter part of a month, I kind of just wanted to chill, which unfortunately I wasn't able to do because of the holidays. And so at the very end of the year, I picked up Afterimage. Because as a New Year's resolution of sorts, I decided, instead of buying a new game on Steam every time there's a Steam sale, and then probably not playing it because I added it to my backlog, I decided I would instead play a game that I already bought from my backlog. And the first game on that list is Afterimage. Now, I played the demo here on this channel, and then again on my main channel, and I had a lot of fun with the demo both times. I also have a lot of thoughts about the game now that I've gotten to play the full version. But I don't want to talk about it yet. I want to play the game more, and give a more fulsome experience, instead of just jumping into my half-baked ideas based on the first few hours. Because even though January hasn't been as busy as December, I've at least gotten time to sleep, it has still been quite busy. And so my time to play other games that aren't related to content creation hasn't been the highest. Though that said, towards the latter half of a month, I am looking to actually get some time, play through Afterimage, catch up with Dungeons 4, and all the other games that I kind of have in a state of suspended animation where I picked them up, didn't quite get anywhere. Oh, check out Tiny Rogues as well. Don't worry, you're probably going to see that in the games I played in January. And probably a few other things as well. Part of the reason that I'm not talking about Afterimage yet is I play games a lot for my job, and most of the time, I'm thinking about analyzing the game as I play, because that's one of the things that I enjoy while playing games. But I don't want to do that every time I play a game. Sometimes I just want to sit down, immerse myself in the experience, and play it for fun. So I've decided that I'm not going to think about turning Afterimage into content, at least not in an analytical, writing stuff down, recording it way, until I've beaten the game once. It was a game that I always planned to beat multiple times, so this happens to fit perfectly. And I'm going to be doing this with several other games as well. Things that I was really excited or looking forward to play. Things that I know I'd be perfectly happy to play multiple times, regardless of if I'm doing it for content or just for fun. I want to do this because all my life video games have been one of my hobbies, and I don't want my hobby to just become about work. I don't want to only be able to play a game if it's to make a video. And that is something that genuinely becomes difficult, especially when I have a YouTube channel where I talk about games, and then I put a second channel up where I talk about all the games that I couldn't talk about on my main channel. On the one hand, yes, my hobbies are becoming my job, in part because I really do enjoy sharing this stuff. I love giving my thoughts. I had so much fun with my first experiences playing Dungeons 4, because it was such a fresh, new, and exciting experience for me. But at the same time, I need to keep a few of those for myself. I need to keep a few moments, like when I was playing Tears of the Kingdom and discovered my combos or fought Ganon, at least for the time being. There may come a day when I don't feel the need to. There may come a day when I just put up whatever. There may come a day when I don't talk about video games at all. I can't tell the future. But at least for now, that's what I'm going to do, and that's why I'm going to do it. But I am curious, have you ever had a hobby become something else? And if so, how did you deal with it? Let me know some of your thoughts, along with your New Year's resolutions, down in the comments below. At least if you feel like sharing. If it's too personal, don't worry about it. But those were the games that I played in December 2023, and don't worry, I should be a little bit more on time with the games I played in January 2024. With that said, a special thanks to my patrons and channel members for the continued support. If you want to get your name on screen like these fine folks here, you can support using the link down below. If you're looking for something else to watch, maybe take a look back at my initial impressions of Afterimage, or a couple of my videos on Torchlight Infinite and Path of Exile. With that said, thanks for watching, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you again sometime soon.